Good evening. Welcome to a very special program. I'm Vishnu Shom. My colleague Vasudha Venugopal with me. Phase 2 of these elections done and dusted. Voting held in 88 constituencies across 13 states and union territories amidst a furious row between the Congress and the BJP over manifesto and inheritance tax. For Kerala, Rajasthan and Tripura, polling is now over.
To give you some context, at least a third of the total 543 Lok Sabha seats, including all seats in Kerala, Rajasthan, Manipur and Tripura, and 14 of the 28 seats in Karnataka have voted till now.
Voter turnout was at 61.4% till about 6 p.m. That tends to go up. We hope it goes up because we want more people to have voted. So it's a provisional number, may go up a little bit in the next couple of hours. Voting percentage is crucial since it was lower in the first phase compared to earlier elections. Is there something that we can interpret in this? Is this voter turnout something that political parties need to factor in their poll arithmetic?
So in the run-up to the campaign, Vishnu, we saw this fierce battle between the BJP and the Congress on wealth redistribution and also inheritance tax. In fact, in Kerala, the rift between the Congress-led UDF and CPM-led LDF took centre stage, while in Karnataka, this is a test of Modi factor versus Congress guarantees. The BJP alone had won 54 of the 88 seats, with the Congress far behind at 18. These are of the 88 seats that went to polls today.
On the show tonight, why Phase 2 is crucial, a deep dive into the data, and we've got some great guests as well. Now that they've finished their work in their constituencies, people have voted for them or not. They've got all the time in the world to come and chat with us. So that deep dive coming up in a little while from now.
Joining us now is Professor Rajiv Gowda, Congress candidate in North Bengaluru, who fought against MOS BJP's Shobha Karantalaje. Thank you, Professor Gowda, for speaking to NDTV. So this is your first election from a tough seat. In the last few days, we saw old videos of yours in Mastermind India go viral. Why do you think a seat that has voted continuously for the BJP since 2004 will choose you this time?
Well, basically, people are pointing out that the BJP, MPs who served from here have not delivered, and they've not ever shown their face after having been elected. Then everyone claims to be campaigning not for themselves, but for, the supreme leader. And people are also saying that, look, at a time when tremendous injustice is being done to Karnataka, we need MPs who can speak up for our state and our interests, and we don't want dummy MPs anymore. So these sorts of factors. And then there's also a very positive vote of confidence in me as a person, as a candidate, someone who has already served reasonably well in the Rajya Sabha, who has been, in their view, a person who cares, who is well equipped to represent the city of Bengaluru, state of Karnataka, and to guard India's interests when I'm in Delhi.
Mr. Gowda, you've been promising to end the water crisis in the city. You said that you'll convert Bengaluru into a 15-minute city, but the BJP has picked on emotive issues. Apart from focusing on the Prime Minister and his popularity in elections, we've seen that emotional pitches often work better than economic bread and butter narratives. I don't know if you agree, but that's what some people suggest.
I'm afraid that the people of Bengaluru, Karnataka, are not interested in having their emotions be misused. And you saw already, there's a very condemnable statement made by the BJP candidate from Bangalore South, who talked about religion. Now the Election Commission has filed an FIR against him. When they have nothing else to offer, when they have no track record, all they can offer is division and polarization and hatred. I think the people will reject them summarily. Okay, so this is, I think you're aware that Tejaswi Surya tweeted, an 80-20, some despicable stuff, trying to, get his core base galvanized in a very, very negative fashion against minorities and others. Well, unfortunately for him, the majority is with us, the Congress, right now. And I don't think that sort of crude communal messaging what you call emotive issues are going to have any kind of impact. People are sick and tired of all that. They want bread and butter issues to be addressed. They're tired of jumlas. Karnataka, the Congress government, in 10 months has delivered on a variety of guarantees that heal the pain, economic distress of our voters who are suffering from 10 years of price rise and unemployment and other real human challenges problems created by Modi Sarkar.
Professor Gowda, Karnataka this time is a lot about JDS BJP alliance on ground. Your constituency is going to be a test case. You're a Vakaliga, so is Shobha Karandalaje. BJP has a party that represents Vakaligas with it, plus the low voting in Bengaluru. Aren't these factors that can pull your vote down?
Voting in Bengaluru is low because urban voter lists, I think, have always got a huge number of people who've moved out, or the denominator is not actually 100%. Basically, it's there's some chunk of voters who don't really live here anymore or have moved out from one place to another. So the caste factor is a tricky thing, right? So basically, none of us in the Congress are campaigning on the basis of caste or religion or any such identity politics. However, people in the political realm see this as a Vakaliga seat. When it comes to being a Vakaliga, both my opponent, Shobhaka, and I are from the same community. But, here, the Vakaligas of Bengaluru are basically saying, this is our son, about me. I'm a local Mandina Maga, which means son of the soil. And so there's a very, very positive sentiment, as if all of them are my extended family. Many of them are. But essentially, I'm not campaigning on the basis of caste or religion or identity. I'm talking about economic issues. I'm talking about national issues, about taking, providing a social safety net to large numbers of people, creating job opportunities for our youth. Those sorts of positive messages have touched the minds and hearts and stomachs of the people. And since we've already delivered on our guarantees, people also believe that these are not jumlas, unlike what we've seen in 10 years of sloganeering and speeches by the other side.
Thank you, Professor Gowda, for speaking to NDTV. That was Professor Rajiv Gowda, the Congress candidate for North Bengaluru, one of the largest constituencies of Karnataka, joining us. All 20 seats of Kerala voted today. In fact, Kerala narrative is done and dusted now. So, Prakash Javdekar, senior leader of the BJP, also the party is in charge for the state of Kerala, joins us now for a chat. Thank you, Mr. Javdekar, for speaking to NDTV. Sir, you were in charge of Telangana first, and Telangana actually gave a lot of good results for the BJP. Now, do you expect the same thing working for the BJP in Kerala?
Yes, absolutely. Kerala will also give, this is a complete change of politics in Kerala for permanent. What used to happen that 70 years only CPM, that is LDF and UDF ruled. And people have seen there is late but realization like Bengal. Bengal was ruled by Congress for 30 years. And LDF, that is communist, by 35 years. But now they have 0 MLS. This day is also not far away from Kerala. And these results in Lok Sabha election also will show a dramatic change. We will win seats, and our overall percentage of votes will also grow up tremendously. That will be so, which was a bipolar politics, will become a 3-pole politics. It's a major change.
Mr. Javdekar, I just want to bring up a graphic. This is a graphic which shows 5 seats where the BJP got more than 20% in terms of vote share in 2019. So let's have that graphic which comes up. And the constituencies are Thiruvananthapuram, where last time around the BJP had 31.3. Pathamathitta 29, Thrissur 28.2, Athingal 24.7, Palakkad 21.3. Now, in the past, the BJP has struggled in Kerala, but these were areas where, at least in terms of vote share, you were better off in 2019. Are these the seats that you're going to primarily be hoping results in either a better vote share or even seats, winning
No,
margins
we are
for
winning
you?
seats out of these 5 and maybe 5 also, because I know Thiruvananthapuram, this time it's a complete change. Last time it was tactical vote by communists to Shashi Tharoor. Therefore, that happened. Now this has not happened this time. And all the Idubas, then all caste communities are voting. And you will surprise when you go into deeper analysis, Muslim voters in large number have voted for Modi. And therefore, we always campaign that Modi is the candidate.
Okay.
And our candidate is the representative of Modi. And people used to say that thank you Modi because of beneficiaries. All used to say thank you Modi. That is in Malayalam, Nanni Modi. And all used to say Modi has done good job, Nalla Modi. That is, he has done good job. So we said, and our campaign was not only Nanni Modi and Nalla Modi, now vote Modi. And I
But-
think they have voted. So what figures you are showing for last elections will now
Change
15
completely. All right. Let's see what happens on the 4th of June. But Prakashji, I wanted to ask you another important question. I'm sure you would agree that in the first phase, the voting percentage was not where, any of us as responsible Indians would want it. It was sure less than last time around. This time around, it's 61.4% in this particular phase. Again, it's a bit lower, a bit down from last time around. Does this in any way affect the electoral arithmetic of the BJP as you start?
No.
Is there a link?
It is the other way around. In Kerala, I think final voting is still on, but now it is completing, so it will.
It might go up a little bit, but just let us assume it is 61.4.
No. I'll tell you what we get at 9 p.m. Actually, the next day 9 a.m. it changes at least 2-3%. So we will be this time. Maybe there may be drop of 2%, and it is not heat. It is the other way around what you are predicting. It is actually people, those who can't vote BJP, but are disgusted with the LDF and UDF politics. They have not come to vote. And that is clear. Booth after booth, we can show you.
Right.
On 4th June, we will discuss. I will tell you the areas also where people who were voting en masse for Congress or Communists have voted less this time.
Mr. Javdekar, one last question, and this is something with regard to your minority outreach. Two things that have happened: Manipur violence and Pinarayi Vijayan's very strong anti-CAA rallies. Now, these two things might impact your minority outreach, and in Kerala, minority votes are really prominent.
Actually, it is not. The fact is that Manipur, we explained it very nicely, and without bringing to the notice of the press, we brought Manipur MLAs. They held dialogues with various congregations, and we completely reached out on 31st March for this Easter Sunday. We reached out to 7 lakh families for wishing them best Easter, happy Easter, and not for votes. And that has impacted a lot. And more importantly, Modi ji banned PFI.
Okay.
And CPM and Congress both are supporting PFI.
Okay.
The PFI's political face is SDPI.
Yeah.
That
Right.
supported Congress. Congress hesitated, will not take support. But there was a perfect understanding of them between. And therefore, SDPI declared that whatever they say, we are going to support. So that was a perfect understanding. And therefore, there is a reaction in other sections. And
All right, Mr.
Christians are-
Javdekar.
they are saying intifada. They are carrying out, both are taking rallies for Gaza. But
Right.
they don't say a word of Hamas and Hezbollah, who have killed the Keralites in Israel. They don't condemn that.
Okay.
They condemn only Gaza, innocent deaths, everybody will condemn anywhere. But this was such a partiality that Christians are too upset because of that.
All
And
right.
that will reflect in our words.
Okay, Mr. Javdekar, wonderful speaking to you. From Telangana
Thank you.
to Kerala, you're quite the backroom sort of boy, working the arithmetic, working your party's chances, working with party workers. Good luck to you, sir. Let's see what finally turns out. Thanks very much.
We
Indeed.
are always, we always do what party gives us the role and responsibility, and we fulfill that.
Thanks, sir. Well, joining us now, Dr. Syed Zafar Islam of the BJP, Bhavya Narsimha Murthy, spokesperson of the Congress, Amitabh Tiwari with me in the studio, as also Aarti Jairath, Rashid Kidwai, the senior journalist. Amitabh, let me come to you first. I've been trying to draw inferences on voting percentage. I don't know if I'm entirely correct, but different people seem to be saying different things. If you look at phase 1 and phase 2, it's a bit lower. Is that at all significant?
I mean, it's significant from the point of view that lesser people are participating in the world's biggest election. So that's a cause of worry for parties, politicians, leaders, election commission, etc. However, as you said, there's no clear trend between a lower turnout and the electoral outcome. That's for sure. So to clear the air, let's say, from 1957 to 2019, there have been 16 elections. Out of those 16 elections, in 10 elections, the turnout increased, and 6 elections, the turnout has declined compared to the previous election. In the 10 times, of the 10 times the turnout increased, 6 times the incumbent has come back or retained power, and 4 times they have lost. So 60-40 is the ratio. Of the 6 times the turnout has declined, 2 times the incumbent has returned to power, and 4 times the incumbent has lost. So there is a mixed result for turnout vis-a-vis if you try to establish a correlation with electoral results. If you see this time also, around 8.5% lower turnout is there on an overall basis. However, the numbers will go up, but it's unlikely to shoot the 2019 numbers. 4 states are pulling down this overall turnout.
Sure.
Okay.
3 Hindi heartland states of UP, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh, and the 4th state is Maharashtra. These are largely pulling down the numbers.
Right. Let me take this question to Zafar Islam. Is your party slightly apprehensive that the voter is not really coming out? Maybe the organized voters are coming out, but maybe the supporting groups are not really enthusiastic enough to come out, because we did see that the voter turnout did reduce in the first phase, and the second phase also the provisional numbers that we have don't seem too encouraging.
Well, there is less enthusiasm as far as the opposition bench is concerned. I completely agree with you, because they know that the fate is known to everyone, and the opposition bench knows that they cannot win this election. And the voters also know that they will not waste their time. So some of the voters definitely they feel that there is no point going to vote there, because they are not going to make their candidate win, or the party they support they win. So as far as Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, as far as our voters are concerned, we know for sure, based on the feedback we get from the Karyakartas and Panna Pramukh and from the booth level Karyakartas, we have been able to get every voters to vote for us.
Okay.
So we are not concerned. In fact, it is their concern. The opposition bench is overly concerned. We are absolutely relaxed that our voters are there. They have voted for us, and we will have not a victory, but a massive victory. And the outcome is something which the Honorable Prime Minister has time and again spoken about it, that we are aiming to get 370 for Bharatiya Janata Party and 400 plus for the NDA. Okay. So we are not at all concerned.
All right, not at all concerned.
As far as the voting pattern is concerned.
We'll move from state to state. Before that, I just wanted to go across to Aarti for a moment. The BJP was focusing quite a lot in several parts of the country on the entire issue of development, a strong India, statistics, employment. And then there was the Prime Minister's rather controversial speech in Banswara, where there were references to Muslims, there were references, all sorts of references. The Election Commission obviously concerned about them. There have been question marks on why he chose to do that, because it seemed to be divergent from, the general trend of what he was saying. Is the BJP at some level concerned about, for example, a low voter turnout? Is that possibly a reason why they've changed tact, or have they changed tact?
Well, it would suggest so, because the campaign started out on a very sober note, where he was talking about guarantees and Viksit Bharat and development, Ram Mandir and so on. And suddenly, there's this polarizing pitch, which happened immediately after the first phase, when the turnout was quite low. And particularly in states where the BJP has big stakes like UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, the turnout was low. So it would suggest that there is a degree of concern and anxiety. And as you know, the PM, of course, every time he does this, and he's done it again this time, he keeps appealing to people to come out and vote. Now, again, in phase 2, despite this whole polarizing pitch, and this very high, this vitriolic attack on the Congress's manifesto and, wealth redistribution and so on, again, the same states have recorded a low voter turnout. Now, as Amitabh said, that we can't judge, the only way you can judge what a low voter turnout means is if you go down to the booth level and look at every booth and check that. That's a very tedious exercise. But what it does suggest is that there is not much interest in the election. Voters don't feel enthused enough to come out and vote, whether for Modi or against Modi. They don't feel that enthusiasm. And I think that is what is really disturbing.
It's gone up to 63%, by the way.
Where?
That's the latest number we have.
But see, Maharashtra is still 55, UP is 57.
UP is 53 in the second phase.
53.
That's considerably
lower than
shorter
the first phase.
than last time around. And these are updated
Exactly.
numbers. It won't go up very much more than this.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's just that there doesn't seem to be any spark in this election. It's, it is
So talking about
definitely
spark,
the
I think a lot
dullest
of
campaign that,
there's a lot of
dullest election
spark
I've
and
seen.
interest in the Battle of Rajasthan. Now, Mr. Kidwai, would you like to talk about this whole battle between BJP and Congress when it comes to the Shekhawati region? There's a lot of talk about if there's Jat anger, there's Thakur anger, there's Gujar anger. What is going to happen in Rajasthan? Because 2 elections, Rajasthan has voted overwhelmingly for Narendra Modi. Why is it going to change this time?
Yes, so Vasudha, there is something amiss. There is a whole thing about Amrit Kal, there is thing being, vote on Narendra Modi, there is Pran Pratishtha ceremony at Ram Mandir, all kind of things. So there should have been a greater enthusiasm of people, rushing towards polling both for the ruling party, and the same applies to the people who want to oust Narendra Modi and BJP. So there is something is missing. To a specific question about Rajasthan, I think the BJP was hoping that elections will be fought on Mr. Modi's face and whatever he stands for. But from ground report, it appears after 2 phases, it's over all 25 seats. It's largely divided very sharply, divided on caste lines, and that is something that's become very tricky. So it can go either way. Remember, BJP had scored, as you were saying, 25 twice. Now, if this time, if there is even a shortfall of 7-8 seats, the BJP will find very difficult to cover it up from another state.
I just want to bring up graphic 5 to put into context what Rashid was talking about in Rajasthan. Let's bring up those numbers on where Rajasthan was in terms of the Lok Sabha results last time around, from 2009 onwards, in fact. The BJP in 2009 had 37% of the vote. In 2014, it went up to 55, a whopping 61% last time around. And look at the Congress, which has steadily gone down. Certainly in 2014, it went down very sharply from 2009, where it was at 47% and significantly higher than the BJP. Then they went up slightly to 34%, but the jump for the BJP, the NDA, was absolutely huge at that stage and virtually unstoppable. One more graphic, if we can just pull up graphic number 6. That just gives you an idea of what. All right, so this is Maharashtra. We'll talk about. We'll talk about Maharashtra in a while, but I just wanted to go across to the Congress. Bhavya with us as well. Bhavya, a lot of people would suggest that the recent remarks made by Sam Petroda, which have been a talking point despite all your efforts, are a bit of a self-goal. That who wants an inheritance tax? Is India ready for it? And B, why in the middle of an election campaign would anybody, bring up something which is potentially something the BJP is bound to latch on to, which they have.
If you open our manifesto, you search for these words, whether it is redistribution or inheritance tax, I challenge, even the very words are not mentioned there. It was Sam Pitroda and his own opinion. And for Mr. Modi to take out this topic, bring in communal narrative, it just shows his outburst because of the desperation after the first phase. And this time, they really know what their numbers are. They're very sure that none of their narratives are working this time. Unlike last time, they
no, but on what basis do you actually say that?
Soldiers and Pulwama attack, and this time they're not able to use any of these. They know they're losing, and it was just Mr. Modi's outburst.
Bhavya, apart from the
And he just
rhetoric,
wanted to
do you have anything to
mislead
suggest
the
to
public.
explain why?
And that's actually shown.
Why do you believe the BJP is losing?
That's because, okay, now we were actually speaking about the lower voter turnout, right? So there are different kinds of voters. One are the loyal voters. No matter what, they will vote for BJP. No matter what, a section will definitely vote for Congress. And then there are the major chunk of voters who decided the previous day or, 1 week before or a month before, looking at the way the parties are, coming up with the manifesto, their narrative setting and their speeches. I honestly believe Mr. Modi actually made a big damage with his recent speech, which was like totally communal and, creating this hate against Muslims. I'm not saying Mr. Modi only lost Muslim votes. Let me be very clear. There are some states where every citizen will stand for the idea of India.
Okay, Dr. Islam, would you like to respond to that? Because the ECI has also asked for star campaigners to be responsible, but clearly there could be a counter argument to this, Bhavya, and I want Mr. Islam to respond to this, that maybe Modi's voters are not really talking that much and they're just going and voting and coming back.
It's Modi's loyal voters who didn't turn out to vote because they're disappointed. They can't vote for anyone else, but they're not ready to vote for BJP.
Okay, Dr. Islam, would you like to respond to that, sir?
I think Congress spokesperson dreaming unnecessarily because they know what is the likely outcome on 4th of June. Congress party is already in the drain, and everyone knows that Congress party last time, despite all their efforts, all the rhetorics, all the allegations they made against the Honorable Prime Minister, they could get only 50 seats, 52 seats. This time, there is absolutely no support from the ground to the Congress party, and they also know that they were unable to bring the voters out, even though those voters who used to support them, they didn't come out purely because they know that they will not be able to help them win. So we are confident of our victory. Let the Congress party speak whatever they want to speculate. They can speculate. They are entitled to speculate and make the statement, whatever they want to make the statement, but they know, they are away from the reality. The reality is the Bharatiya Janata Party's voters have come out. The reality is that we are getting good response from our vote bank support, and there is a lot of receptiveness in what the Honorable Prime Minister is speaking to the people of this great country.
Okay, so got that. I'm interrupting you, Zafar Sahab, only because I'm running out of time, and I think Vasudha and I would really like to go across to a few states. So if we can shall we focus on Karnataka a little bit?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. So let's just take a look at graphic 4, the seats being contested by all the parties, and then move on to the next set of graphics, 4A and 4B. So graphic 4, which actually looks, and you'll have that in a moment, seats being contested by the various parties. Karnataka, so 14 seats each. For the NDA, it's 11 to the BJP and the JDS. That's an important alliance partner they have, which is 3. We'll talk about that partnership in just a moment. If you take a look at the 2019 Lok Sabha position in these areas, if you bring up graphic 4A, we'll give you an idea of what exactly the situation is. So in 2019, the BJP had 47.7% of the vote. More significantly, the seats won. Just look at that. It was a one-party show. And that, in a sense, brings me to my question. Amitabh, there have been assembly elections just very recently. I know that there isn't historically a link between assembly and Lok Sabha results, but the fact that there is a bit of a wave because it's just happened, does that make it more difficult potentially for the BJP to retain this kind of margin?
And also adding on to that, there's this Modi factor. The Modi factor works very differently in Karnataka. And then also there are Congress guarantees which did not exist in 2019. So these two factors, do you think they can alter the outcomes?
Yeah, so 2-3 factors are working as you said. So it's a battle of state government beneficiaries versus central government beneficiaries in a way, because Siddaramaiah has also developed a loyal vote bank of Labhartis. The women who are getting 2,000 rupees are fairly happy. So now that's one point. The second point is that due to the coming together of JDS and BJP, the two dominant communities are coming together, and it could lead to a significant consolidation of Ahinda, which is the loyal vote bank of the Congress party. That's what the Congress party is hoping for. In any alliance, seamless transfer of votes is very, very important. Now, Lingayats and Vokkaligas have had a history because of the refusal of Kumaraswamy to transfer power. So will the votes transfer seamlessly between these two parties? That's also a big question. JDS is now a weekend force. Whatever vote share it got in 12-13%, a chunk of the votes was also from the Kurubas, the Muslims, SC/STs, which it consequently lost in a Vidhan Sabha election. Right. So it's going to be a seat-by-seat battle as well. However, Modi factor there was fairly strong, 49% versus 32% overall.
Shall we just take a quick look at the voter turnout in Karnataka?
Yes.
Might be interesting. With Bengaluru, it's typically never been the very highest.
Unfortunately.
It's low,
Let's just take a look at we don't have obviously a breakup of the city, which is what would be really interesting.
No.
But let's just keep going till we find and scroll to Karnataka. Second phase 64.6, so it's not terrible by any means. Yeah. But it would be interesting to see what the Bengaluru breakup is. Anything
Bangalore, all cities are 50-51% except for Bangalore rural, which is DK Suresh versus Manjunath, which is 65%.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's very surprising because that's one city where you see a lot of civic responsibilities, so many civic activism going on, and still this happens every year.
All right, we're going to move once again to Kerala. We are joined by Anil Anthony. He's the Pathamthitta candidate. Thanks very much, Mr. Anthony, for being with us. Mr. Anthony, last time around, the NDA was unable to open its account in Kerala. In fact, the BJP has never won even a single seat. What has changed this time for you to believe that there will be a difference?
See, there are multiple factors. So this is the first time I'm contesting as a candidate in Kerala. Been here for the last few. So this election in Kerala is very different. That much I can say. First, this national election, not just an election to choose a few MPs. And unlike the last election where in Kerala, because Mr. Rahul Gandhi was standing here for the first time and there was a narration that was created that UPA could come back and Rahul Gandhi could become the Prime Minister, etc. There were some vote shift that happened in the end, and which is one of the major reasons why the votes in, how the results in Kerala were very different from what happened in the national stage. But this time you come to Kerala, you even speak to a Congress or a Communist Party supporter. One thing which each of them are sure of is in this national election and NDA 3 is coming back, led by Prime Minister Modi. So this major factor that happened last time is not there. And then you, across India, that is the sentiment that NDA 3 is coming back with Narendra Modi again as the Prime Minister. And sentiment exists everywhere in Kerala. Then you look at each individual constituency in Kerala. Like for example, my constituency Pathanamthitta. I'm standing here for the first time, but then I was having two heavyweights, I would say, with a long political name. One was Mr. Thomas Isaac, as a 5-6 time MLA. One or twice he was a finance minister. Then there's Mr. Anthony, who has been an MP here for the last 15 years. But then again, you look at the state right now, the state is in dire financial distress. Even last month, the state reached a situation where they can't even pay salaries and pension to their employees. So from Kasaragod to Trivandrum, each of the 20 seats, there is a anti-incumbency and anger against the left government, multiple factors.
So Anil, now all that work in Kerala is done. In fact, Kerala elections are done and dusted. You are also campaigning in Manipur. I remember there's literally nothing that you can do now. Where are you headed, home or party?
You're
I'm
partying, right?
very sure
Admit
that
it.
I'm in a party where we have to work very hard till the elections are over. So there will be other things to do from very soon.
So we thank you, Anil Anthony, for joining us. Anil Anthony, the candidate of the BJP from Pathanamthitta, the place where Sabarimala temple is, and we saw a lot of protests happening there 2 years ago. We also have Congress's Bengaluru South candidate Soumya Reddy, who has put up a spirited fight against the BJP's Tejasvi Surya. This is a seat that has been with the BJP for the last 20 years, since the time of Anant Kumar. Soumya, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. You're up against Tejasvi Surya. He won with a huge margin last time. He's seen as a firebrand leader. How do you see this fight?
Well, there's a lot of anti-incumbency for Tejasvi Surya, and the vibes on the ground are extremely positive because people, one is they're upset, because he was inaccessible and he hasn't done much in the constituency. Also, in the past 10 years, people are really disappointed with the Modi government at the center. Also, in the past, 10 months, people are extremely happy with the Congress government at the state, and also, from 2013, and there's definitely, we can sense the vibes on the ground that there is going to be a huge shift towards Congress.
Soumya, is the Congress in a sense counting on, the wave from the assembly elections? Because what the BJP has been saying consistently is that it's one thing to win an assembly election. India votes and states vote very differently in a national context. This is where they feel that, they are strong and they've been pitching a strong India, a strong economic country, etc., etc. So what is the Congress in Karnataka really banking on?
Well, last time, 2019, I have to accept that there was a Modi wave and people wanted to give the BJP government another chance. But this time around, people have given, people of the country have given an opportunity not once but twice. And most of the promises have really not delivered. There's massive unemployment. Farmers, MSP hasn't been, doubled. Farmers have been protesting. Even violence against women has increased. And, there is massive, be it small industries, be it women, be it farmers, everybody across the country are pretty upset with the central government. So definitely, if there is, people also want a government which will safeguard each and every citizen of, the country. And so to uphold the constitution and to also ensure that there is genuinely progress. And also Karnataka has gotten a raw deal because we haven't gotten our fair of shares. And also none of the 25 MPs who went in 2009 really spoke up in the interest of Karnataka. So people are extremely disappointed, and you will definitely see that there will be minimum 20 or probably even more than that in Karnataka.
Also, Soumya, how do you see BJP-JDS alliance hurting your prospects? Because JDS alone is seen as a party that could have an influence on 16 Lok Sabha seats.
Not at all. Because in fact, it's very sad that JDS has actually combined with BJP, because they would have actually probably won if they hadn't, joined hands with them. And so people are actually, it's become very convenient for us, because a lot of people who would actually vote for JDS, they're like, listen, we're going to vote for you. So this is definitely across the country and also across the state. There is going to be an India alliance, and it's going to be a Congress India alliance for sure. In fact, what this entire 400, 400 par and everything has just been created just to kind of a smoke screen. It's just only for fool people and also their own party workers to encourage them. But you will see that June 4th, there is going to be a new government which is going to stand for upholding constitution and ensuring the progress of the country.
Well, Soumya, thank you very much for being with us and good luck to you. We're going to take a short break. Up after that, a significant development this morning as the country votes in the second phase. They've already done that. The Supreme Court has given electronic voting machines a big vote of confidence. We've got a special report and a special interview coming up as well. I'd like to thank our panelists very much for being with us. There's so many more phases in this hot summer for these elections before we finally know who's going to win. That's going to be still some time away, June 4th.